Commitment to work is a powerful force that ignites a flame within us, propelling us to achieve the pinnacle of success. It is a skill that differentiates between the ordinary and the extraordinary, taking us one step away from merely accomplishing our goals to surpassing them with unwavering determination. But how can we cultivate this in ourselves and instill a sense of ownership within our teams? To answer these questions and more, today on the next episode of Fly High with AccompliSHErs podcast, we have Rashmi Kainari, Lead Commercial Marketing, Lenovo India. Hi Rashmi, welcome to the show. Without further ado, I'll straight dive into the very first question of the podcast. What does commitment to work mean to you in your professional life, and how would you define it?
Yes, Deepika. Commitment to work is, in my view, defined as the dedication, the responsibility, and the focus that a person needs to drive to achieve the goals for which he or she has been appointed in a workplace. How does it relate to what I do in daily life? For me, it's having a very clear line of sight to whatever I do in terms of me being able to progress them and in terms of me being able to persevere to achieve success in whatever I do.
Rashmi, I totally agree with you about owning your responsibilities and persevering ahead. But how do you ensure that you prioritize your commitments when there are multiple responsibilities and competing demands at hand?
Yes, Deepika, prioritization is critical, particularly in fast-moving organizations like ours. The way I prioritize work is to basically see what are those high-impact deliverables that need maximum focus, and that is where majority of my time goes in. But then there are also certain deliverables and there are certain goals which have to be achieved in long run, which may not require a dedicated time the way a high-impact deliverable might, but which does require a dedicated focus as such. So it's a split between where do I spend majority of my time and where is it that I can also spend less amount of time but spend that time at my will as such. So that is the way I prioritize. I also put them into three buckets: the must-dos, which are the high-impact projects, the could and the should-do, which could be the projects which can be run over a long period of time.
Reflecting on your work and prioritizing them into sizable chunks really helps in delivering your objectives. But Rashmi, as a people manager, how do you ensure the sense of commitment and a strong sense of ownership is instilled within your team members?
Yes, this has been a learning curve for me as well, as I have realized that people and teams have different motivational factors. What I have done for my team is to do three things. One, enable them with resources that may be required for them to be successful in whatever they are doing. Second, show them the wider impact that their project would have on the organization and the team's success. Third, lead by example and demonstrate the impact that can drive.
So my next question is, how do you balance the need for commitment with the potential of burnout in a high-pressure environment?
Absolutely. However, it is also important that we define the boundaries. There are a lot of projects, however, that we find would create a certain sense of stress. There could be a stretch that is required by me, by the team, and therefore it is important to have a break. For example, last year when we did Tech World, we had to do a lot of heavy lifting. There was a need for the team to basically stretch and work over and above the general work schedule that we follow. And therefore, after Tech World, all of us took a break. For me, that break was spending time with my family, spending time with my dog, watching a new series, just feeling away from work. And therefore, when I come back to work, I feel a little more energized, look forward to a new challenge. And all of this does create a sense of commitment to do something new. And that's very important.
And that brings us to the most quintessential part of our podcast today, the rapid fire. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Great. So, Rashmi, who's your role model in life?
From modern times, I would say Michelle Obama, because I find her to be an extremely strong woman who has held on to her own character despite having a very popular husband. So yeah, Michelle Obama.
I couldn't agree more. Rashmi, that brings me to my next question, which is the one book that you would like to recommend to our listeners today.
The book Thief. I think it's a story that talks about human survival during very difficult times. So a definite read.
Absolutely. And the last question, Rashmi, is if there's one advice that you could give to anybody who's tuned in with us today, what would it be?
I would say just keep going because careers are not made overnight, and therefore it's very important that we stay committed and there is a long-term focus. So just keep going and you will find success.
Absolutely. That's the power of perseverance. With that, thank you for all the beautiful insights that you've shared with us today. I'm sure our listeners would really pick up one or two, and that will really go a long way in impacting their careers. Thank you, Rashmi.
Thank you, Deepika.